The world of work is changing. But why is it changing? How is it changing? And what should you and your organization do about it? Hi, my name is Jacob Morgan. I'm a best-selling author, speaker, and futurist, and on this show, I'm going to help answer all of these questions. Join me as I go inside some of the world's most forward-thinking companies to tour their offices and interview their executives and employees. Welcome to the future of work. Who am I kidding? Today we're at the offices of Lithium Technologies. They're an enterprise software company that specializes in creating digital communities. We're going to speak with some of their executives, get a tour of their office, of course speak with some of their employees, and get a sense of what they think the future of work is going to look like. Let's go inside and take a look. Good security. There we go. Oh, you had to pull. I was pushing. That's awkward.
Hey, Jacob. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Welcome to Lithium.
Thank you. So I'm here with Kirk Yokomizo, who's one of the co-founders of Lithium, and he's going to give us a tour.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. All right. Well, welcome to our office. You found your way here. That's good.
Parking stuck.
Oh, yeah. It is tough sometimes in the financial district.
Yeah.
But I wanted to stop here first because this is our customer wall, and this is where we have pictures of our actual customers. And the idea was we wanted people to feel a connection between our customers right when they came in the front door. So we have customer photos here going all the way down the wall here. So I also wanted to show you the family room. Family room is kind of an interesting room. It's a place where you don't have to book it. You can kind of come here and work if you want to, relax. A lot of people come in here to watch games on TV. We also have our library here, and these are some people that have come to speak at Lithium in our Fireside Chat series. So that's kind of cool. And then we also have pictures from right when we moved in. We had all the teams get together and have their pictures taken. So that's a good reminder of
Nice.
our move-in. We have stuff all over our walls. So this is actually from our conference last year, our big customer conference. And we also have our values on the wall over here, which we will definitely talk about as we go through the office. The other thing I wanted to point out, since we're in this area, is that that's where our CEO sits, right there. He has the, in quotes, corner office, but he sits right out on the floor with everybody else. So,
It literally is the corner office.
yeah. These are some very interesting privacy walls. So if you're going to take a phone call, you can actually put your computer on there and work there if you really wanted to.
Can you hear me?
What's
Am I
that?
totally muffled in here? Do people stand like this?
Yeah. Some people when they're waiting for a conference room or something, or if they're just going to take a quick call.
And it just muffles.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
They do look kind of interesting though.
Do people use it?
Yeah, definitely over in my area where a lot of people are on the phone all the time. So this is our biggest conference room. Looks like somebody might be in there right now. But
Asteroids.
this is Asteroids. So on the 15th floor here, all of the meeting rooms are actually named after classic video games. So that's why this one's called Asteroids.
That was a good game.
When we go down to the 14th floor, those ones are all named after spaceships or StarCraft. So we will see that when we get down there. I was going to see if I can let you into the studio here. We just finished building this. I don't know what state it's in though.
It's okay.
So this is the Lycium Studio.
Oh, wow.
Where we do a lot of interviews and stuff in here. This is for doing our internal videos. If we have customers come over and we want a nice quiet place to interview them, we can do it in here too. So we're going to go down this secret elevator.
Oh, wow.
All right.
And how many people do you have now?
The company has about 400 employees now. And of course, we're main headquarters here in San Francisco, but we have a big presence in Austin and then in Europe and also Asia Pacific now too.
Great.
So we're kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
This is the 14th floor, so this is where most of our technical teams sit. This is our technical operations team. Howdy. And there's some interesting things down here in their area. They have monitor walls so they can keep track of what's going on out in our production environment. They have this appropriately destructed hard drive here.
Yeah.
This wall is called the inspiration wall. So people who sit in this area were urged to bring in a picture of somebody that they were inspired by and hanging on the wall. So this tree kind of grows around the corner here too. And this is also where our bike parking is. Kind of looks like we're running a bike shop here, but people who ride in or commute to work on their bike, they all park their bikes here. And I guess the other thing to point out while we're down here too is that each team gets to kind of own their own space, so they can decorate it however they want. So the tech guys have their tiki bar back there in the corner, which we roll out. Sure. So like I mentioned earlier, this floor is spacecraft. Head back down the hall this way, and then go back up the stairs so you can kind of check out the lobby area too.
So did you guys design everything from scratch?
Yeah, before we moved in here, it actually looked quite a bit different. There were kind of 2 restrooms on every floor. We tore out that and made a bigger kitchen space, and all the walls had kind of coverings on it, so this wasn't exposed. It kind of had the drywall around it. So after taking that down, it really changed the feel of the office for sure.
So why did you guys do that?
I think we just liked the feel of the brick, the exposed brick, and more, higher ceilings and a more open space. So I think it came out okay. It's where teams are, you can kind of turn your chair around and meet at any time.
Yeah.
So I think that was the main idea behind having more of an open space. And there are desks, but there's also just kind of general areas like back there where you can just sit back there and meet if you want to. So I did want to stop here in front of this TV because this is what we call LITE, or Lithium Television for Employees. So
That's a good name.
Yeah, we have this running throughout the whole week. We do announcements on here. We celebrate birthdays and anniversaries and also welcome new hires. So, and then most importantly perhaps is that we publish the lunch menu on there so that people know which kind of food's coming in on a particular day.
I like it.
All right. So these are kind of general, leave a message here boards. And then also this is kind of new for us, where the teams, all the engineering and product teams are tracking all of their sprint progress on this shared board. We have a webcam up here because a lot of our developers are also in the Austin office. So they have kind of a live feed of where everything's moving.
Huh. So you can see that from Austin?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And if they need to do a stand-up or something, they can also meet here.
Yeah.
Another example of the team kind of having ownership of their space is this team who's elected to get a punching bag, just in case you really can't figure out that last issue.
Yeah.
This is one of those marble tracks. Impressive. Oh, somebody didn't make sure it works. So the 14th floor is where most of the engineering team sits and our technical teams. Death Star is a spacecraft, so that's the Death Star conference room.
That's funny.
Oh, this is the puzzle. So yeah, this puzzle has been here, I think, for like 3 months. And John was giving me a hard time about not coming down here and contributing, but I have spent quite a bit of time on this one, so I'm glad they finished it. They're actually doing yoga right now. So this is our biggest conference room where we have all of our all-hands meetings occur in here. If we have guest speakers, they'll come in here too. And then, we use it for wellness events too. So I guess they're doing yoga right now. Yeah, I actually wanted to show you some stuff in here, but I feel like it should be really quiet right now while everyone's relaxing. But this is where we have where we hold our all-hands meetings, and so we sync up with all of the other offices through webcams. And so we'll have the the Austin office on that TV and the London office on that TV.
That's pretty cool.
And then if we really needed it, as you can see up there, we have disco lights and a smoke machine. So this is our main kitchen area. This is where we get lunch 3 times a week. You can get breakfast a couple days a week too. And we also have probably 6 or 7 different ways to brew coffee down here too, because that is definitely important.
6 ways?
Yeah, to stay caffeinated while you're here. So
Okay, we gotta look at the different ways.
we have the traditional drip brew here. We have the V60 over here that Brad's doing. We have the clever coffee dripper. We have the Nespresso machine, and we also have a real espresso machine as well if you really wanted to get your steamed milk. The V60 is the one that's just kind of like a cone, yeah.
So it just drips coffee?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it actually. That's actually all it does, but yeah. This is our snack vault, so we make sure that this is stocked at all times. We have rotating different products too, so week to week we get to change it up a little bit, and people get to vote on what's good and what's not good, so it kind of adapts to what the community wants.
You've seen a lot.
So we'll cruise back this way. I wanted to show you this other TV here too. So Tom is a new hire that just started on Monday.
Welcome along.
Yeah. This is actually quite helpful. And we've built some additional applications that help people keep track of who's working at the company. So if you're going to go visit the London office, for example, you can do a flashcard game to teach yourself people's faces and names.
Oh.
So we're on the 14th floor. We'll go back up to the 15th. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's everything. That's the office.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. We're going to go talk to some of your employees, talk to Rob, and see what you guys think of the future of work.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jacob.
So I'm here with Rob Tarkov, the CEO of Lithium Technologies. Hopefully I said your last name right.
You did. Perfect.
Great. So obviously you've worked at a couple different companies in different spaces. Have you seen the workplace change at all?
Oh, dramatically. So, I mean, the funniest story I tell is when I would go to EMC on the East Coast after having been at, West Coast software companies for a while, and, I didn't wear a tie.
Uh-huh.
And, they sort of looked at me like, hey, what are you doing? In technology, we wear ties. Well, that's obviously changed, but that was sort of 2003, 2004. I then kind of went to Adobe, and Adobe was historically all offices. It was these huge towers in San Jose. You've probably seen them.
Yeah.
And it's all offices everywhere. Every single employee had an office, which, the concept of hallway conversation, the concept of anything around collaboration, sort of ad hoc, it just didn't exist. So when I came to Lithium, one of the things that I said is, I want to create much more of an open environment where people can really just get together quickly, get work done, can work in teams. We created this concept called neighborhoods here, so that different groups could sort of work in different neighborhoods and move neighborhoods. And it also gave the ability to have some quiet time.
Sure.
So it's not like one big trading floor, which I don't like either. But it's changed so much, and I found it's really effective here.
So aside from just the actual physical space, have you seen any other changes as far as management styles, corporate culture, what organizations value, anything else?
Oh, a ton. I mean, the change now is really about it's a lot of what our business is about. It's crowdsourcing great ideas from wherever they exist. Mm-hmm. So the concept of hierarchies and sort of management change, and you send me this information, then I'll package it up for the next person to get. Like, that's all gone away, and I actually hate that part of business. So I'm glad that everything is much flatter now. One of the challenges I had historically was, the number of cycles that information would have to have before it got to me at places like Adobe or EMC, and it can't be that value add for people to keep repackaging stuff. Sure. So it's like, hey, let's figure out a model where the workplace, the management style, the value system, really reflects the idea that great ideas come from everywhere in the company, and managers are really there to help facilitate a process for getting something done.
What do you think of millennials? I know that's a huge topic for people that are going to be watching this. What do you think of millennials in the workplace?
Well,
You could be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm always honest. I have two perspectives. One is that the quality of employee that's coming in today in terms of life experiences that they've had as a part of college, after college, work experiences. I mean, it's much higher than it was years ago. The challenging side sometimes is that we live in an environment where people get instant feedback on everything. And so you have to kind of help a lot of people who come in from that generation to understand that, when you've been here for 2 weeks and you've done a couple of good things,
I want a promotion.
Yeah, no, it's not necessarily an outstanding time to ask for feedback. Like, give it some time to learn the culture, to finish some projects, to understand relationships, and then we'll give you feedback.
What do you think about freelancers?
I think people want to identify with a company. One of the things that I hear from most people who want to come here is, I want to be associated with the brand. Mm-hmm. I like what you guys represent. I like the culture of the employees. And so I do still feel there's that connection that people want. As a freelancer, I don't think you get that. And so I think that may be something that you miss, if you're just kind of hopping from company to company, cultureless.
Sure. Yeah.
In a sense.
So what do you do at Lithium, and what's your name?
So I'm an account executive here at Lithium, and my name is Prentice Welch.
Have you seen any changes happen in the workplace?
Definitely. I think one of the biggest changes, and I think a change that's welcome from my perspective, is the flexibility of people's work schedule. Mm-hmm. I remember, some of the days back at Merrill, everybody was like, we were on the East Coast time zone. Everybody was to be in the office by 6 a.m. No questions asked.
Not like that here.
It's definitely not like that here.
Yeah.
And even in the final days at Merrill, wasn't like that.
Interesting.
Things had definitely changed.
Did you work in a cubicle there?
Yes.
How do you like the open office style?
I like it. I mean, for me personally, I don't like sitting still for very long, so I like being able to get up and approach, other folks. I know when I first started at Lithium, we were in a warehouse over in Emeryville.
Yeah,
and
I've seen that space.
Yeah, and it was awesome because we had salespeople and technical people and customer service people all sitting in one big space, and there was so much learning and collaboration that would take place. It was really fun. I think especially as a new employee, like being able to have access to all those different folks, that's changed actually over time.
What do you care about most, or what do you look for most in a company?
That's a good question. I think if I were looking, so I'll go back to when I joined Lithium. When I was going through the interview process, it was really also like I was interviewing Lithium a little bit, in that I wanted to get a sense that the people that I was meeting and interacting with were people that I felt like I could trust. Because to me, that's the biggest, it's one of the most important factors is if I feel like I can trust somebody, then whatever they have to tell me, whether it's good news or bad news, I can deal with that. But if I feel like they're not really being straightforward or upfront, then that it becomes uncomfortable, and then I'm like, I gotta get out of this.
So who are you and what do you do at Lithium?
My name is Cherry, and I'm a software developer.
Oh, I like meeting women in the technology space. I don't meet many.
Yes, there are like 3 of us here, I think, on the whole floor.
So I'm curious, over the course of your career, not just at Lithium, but other companies that you've been a part of, have you seen the workplace change at all?
First of all, Lithium is my first job out of college.
Ah.
And so just based on, when I was in college, I did an internship at Qualcomm in San Diego. Just the difference between here and that's also a big corporate style company.
Of course.
So when I first joined Lithium, we were still in Emeryville, and we were planning on moving to the city. So I kind of went through the whole move process of looking for a bigger, more, commercial office space. And it is very interesting for me because I kind of grew with the company. When I first joined, we had somewhere between 150 and 200 employees.
Wow.
And now I think it's between 400 and 500. So it is definitely, Lithium is a very important place for me. I think it will always be, even if I move on to other companies in the future in my career. But I think it's that thing that your first company will always be your most memorable experience.
Yeah. What do you think the future of work is going to look like in 5-10 years?
I feel like people are more and more integrated into their workspaces, and for example, my husband works at Apple, and then one of the things that surprises me is Apple is such a big corporate company.
Yeah.
But I feel like everybody who worked there, including him, treats it as almost their second apartment or second home. And a little information that I have is that my husband is type 1 diabetic, so he is following this new thing called the paleo diet.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
And this interesting fact that he told me is that one day he sent an email to an email list of the dining hall at Apple, and because one of the chefs there is unable to use coconut oil, which is a healthy alternative of oil, and he sent an email to the email list, and he got his request resolved the next week.
Yeah.
So I think with personal things like this, people are caring more and more about how their workplace needs to be compliant with their lifestyle. And
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So that was very nice. When I heard that story, I was like, go Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like working in an open office environment?
I really enjoy it, and I wish we could be even more open.
What advice would you give to an executive or to a manager at a company to make it a better place to work?
It's comforting for us engineers to know that the head of the company has a clear goal of what specifically our product is going to evolve into in the near future, and what directions we're going, especially with things like acquisitions, the collaborations with cloud, etc.
So who are you and what do you do at Lithium?
Hi, I am Francisca Finucchi, and I am on the PR/comms team for Lithium.
So have you seen the workplace change at all through the course of your career working at multiple companies?
Oh gosh, yes.
How have you seen it change?
At Skype, for example, when we first started there, they showed me my desk, and I was surprised to see there was not a phone. And I thought automatically throughout my career I've always had a desk phone, like many of us have always had desk phones. But at Skype, we all use Skype to communicate. So I had a headset, and that was a big change for us and a lot of getting used to, but it was awesome. I still use Skype till this day to make all of my international calls.
Did you have open spaces at Skype?
Open spaces at Pandora. It was really funny. I used to sit right across from the founder of Pandora. And
it's awkward.
It's awkward. It's awkward, and I'm on the PR team, so every time we had to do a media pitch or call a reporter, and I'm pitching the founder, and he's sitting right in front of me, and I'm on the phone trying to say how great the founder is, and it's like so awkward that you're sitting right in front of me. But the cool thing about the open layout was that if I needed his feedback or if he had to review something, it was all so collaborative. He would just come over, look over my shoulder, and give me real-time feedback, and that was so awesome.
So have you seen the workplace change at all through the course of your career working at multiple companies?
Oh gosh, yes.
How have you seen it change?
Yeah, I think it has changed. I think number one is diversity. I think the Bay Area has seen people from all around the world and not just the tech sector. I think I'm seeing more women in our field and more women in leadership positions.
What do you look for in people in leadership?
I look for people that invest the time not just to grow my career at that particular company, but holistically. Like, look at it from a larger point of view. It's like, what do you want to do to grow your skill set? Not just here at Pandora, Skype, or Lithium, but how can we make you a better professional in your craft?
Where do you see things going in the next 5-10 years?
I think people will be a lot more remote. a lot more fluid in kind of where they're working, and I think that'll be the biggest change.
I think it's probably going to change pretty dramatically between the technology that's coming, that is available.
I feel like people are more and more integrated into their workspaces, and
it's changing so quick with all the instant feedback. When I first started my career, there was no Twitter, there was no Facebook, there was no instant communication, and now it's like everybody is on these social networks, and you need to provide real-time information and be in the real time, know what's going on. So I have no idea, and that's what makes our job so exciting. Like, I don't know where we're going to be in 5 years, but you have to keep up with the trends, and you have to keep up with what's happening. Periscope just came out. My husband and I watched it. I watched the Mayweather fight on Periscope.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So the
You
possibilities
never
are
dream
endless.
of being able to do that.
Never, and I wasn't going to pay $100.
Yeah, it wasn't worth the fight. I'm sure some people watching this are like, yeah, that sucked. Just spent the last couple hours on site at Lithium's offices. We spoke with their CEO, we spoke with some of their employees to get a sense of what they think the future of work is going to look like. Now it's time to go on to the next company. Onward to the future of work. Stupid Rubik's Cube. Hate that damn thing. Thanks for watching the Future of Work show. To sponsor an episode or to have your company featured in the show, email me, jacob@thefutureorganization.com. I'll see you in the future.